Hey everybody, and welcome to Axion Token Channel. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I can't hear you. What? Come on. I was just doing an audio check, so it's going good. I didn't expect you to yell back through the internet, but very cool. Hey, great that you could all join me for this special occasion. Axion's third launch partner on the Axion launch platform. Very cool indeed. Each of them just layers on top of each other. Very nice. And that's the way you should view them, just layering that benefit and that partnership on top of each other. Very cool indeed. So nice to see this one. And guess what? More coming. So very cool, and in the weeks ahead too, from the looks of it. So very exciting times ahead. A lot of the stuff that's been been developed in the background for the last couple of months is going to start rolling out over the next 2 to 4 weeks. So it's an exciting time to be in Axion. Very cool indeed. This is just one of those milestones in that journey. So very exciting stuff as Axion basically expands. So a lot of if you develop stuff for a couple of months, then it all starts to come to fruition, and we're starting to see that now. Very cool indeed. So I hope you guys are enjoying this time. Hey, so let's just have a look here. We've got a few comments in the chat. Let's just go to those. Hey, Michael, Chris McDaniel, good to see Chris in there. And yeah, welcome from me. Special event, of course. We're going to look at that. What's up, says Chris. Very cool, dude. Bullish that the chat is small. I'm probably grabbing a bigger bag soon if this early. Hey, Chris, great to have you in the chat there for sure. Most welcome. So once again, we'll probably hope you guys enjoy yourself. For those watching after this live stream, hopefully you'll learn a bit more about Axion and just some of the evolution that's happening. Now, Axion's only in its 7th month of really being live with auctions, so it's still very early to get into Axion. It is a long-term project, so that's the most important thing. It's not a pump and dump meme coin. It is a long-term certificate of deposit, supercharged with dividends. So remember to take that into account. It's not a meme coin. It's a long-term serious investment certificate of deposit. You earn a minimum 8% return per year, plus wrap Bitcoin dividends, which is huge, right? If you're bullish about Bitcoin in the long term, you want to hodl those Bitcoin dividends that you're getting. It's also got Axion dividends as well, 3 times a week. On top of that, folks, it's got these airdrops and partnerships, which are going to expand the ecosystem. Take the long-term view, not the short-term view. If you want to go and find a pump and dump coin, there's thousands out there to do that. They've really got nothing inside them, and they're just pure speculation. So let's just contrast that straight away. Now, this is what makes this even more exciting, is that we've got another partnership, the third one, and so we're going to check all that out now. So hopefully you guys enjoy yourself. And Chris says, glad to be here. Absolutely. It's really warming up, folks. We've got some big changes today that were announced in the marketing team and strategy as well. So we're going to talk about those briefly as well. So welcome, everybody. All right, let's quickly get into, here's the announcement on Punkonomics. So if you haven't seen that, it's about 2 hours long. There is a bit of live stream feeding issue as you go through it, but it's some fantastic content in there and really good. I'm going to try and summarize some of that in this live stream after we talk about the actual launch of DIREWOLF. So DIREWOLF has been launched today, and that's pretty DIREWOLF, sorry, it's been launched today, and that's huge. So DIREWOLF, awesome stuff. Let's get straight into the announcement. So the strategy director, Punky, basically announced that is so excited to basically announce the newest launch partner, DIREWOLF, in addition to the $160,000 airdrop happening after the snapshot on June the 12th. All right, so there's a $160,000 airdrop. They're probably about $35 per max share staker that qualifies at the moment. There's still a couple of days to go. Now, the snapshot that will be taken is 1300 PST time. So to write that down, 1300 PST time, Saturday, the 12th of June. And basically, you must have a stake that's over 500,000 Axion to qualify for this airdrop, okay? Now, obviously, just like all crypto, the upside potential is huge. You know, you can get bigger upside potential, and that's true for all the airdrops that get done in the Axion launch partnerships. So there's always the upside potential. So though it's $35, it can have, you know, quite large upside potential over time. So really take the long-term view on that, and these airdrops just keep adding up in your little MetaMask wallet or whatever to start sitting there away. So very cool stuff indeed. Now, these aren't just airdrops and partnerships. These actually partnerships have a give and a take. So there's cross benefits. There's this synergy between these partnerships that are coming into Axion, and also based around ethical and community focus. So there's quite a strong branding there as well, that these are ethical and community focused outreaches as well. Some of them will be purely commercial, some of them will be community outreach. So it really builds up that ethical finance brand of Axion's just and its journey to build up. So very cool on that one. So anyway, so there's a $160,000 airdrop snapshot for the June the 12th. You need to have at least one max share stake that's for 5,555 days, and that needs to be over 500,000 Axion. You must have that in on at 1300 hours or 1 o'clock on Saturday, 12th of June. So that's the deadline for that. The Axion Max Share community will also receive a 10% discount on up to $250 per wallet. And that's 20% for an OG NFT holders. So if you've got an NFT for that, you'll get 20%, totaling $50,000 to serve as a donation to Southern Ohio Wolf Sanctuary. There's actually a real life wolf sanctuary out there in Ohio, and they're actually going to be hand delivered, the donation, by DIREWOLF and by Axion. They're going to go out and visit that place. So a real world crossover there, very nice. This is an incredible opportunity to give back to a big way and also integrate our two very different tokens in a way that allows us all to grow. So please check the knowledge-based article for details and help both the communities start this adventure by commenting and sharing the Twitter posts that have come out of the launch. So that's the other thing. Axion's really stepped up its Twitter and other social media platforms are just starting to ramp up. So that's really cool, and they've got lots planned. They're going to have competition and stuff, so you're going to see that community expand big time. That was something that was really probably not as building as fast, but that's now a real focus. So watch, that's going to be pretty huge. Obviously, Twitter's big for crypto in particular, and so that's a great thing to see that happening now. This is the first of many. So this is something that you guys will all be looking at, especially if you're max share stakers. This is the first of many to come over the next 6 weeks. OMG, that layering FOMO, that's what you want to do. In crypto, that's how you want to play the game. You want to layer this stuff on top of each other, and that's a unique opportunity inside Axion with the launch pad on top of the certificate deposit, on top of the wrapped Bitcoin dividends, on top of the Axion dividends. Very cool to see this, really getting you access to these projects more and more over time. So very cool. Also building out the ecosystem, which is the big picture. Got to see the big picture as well as your individual investor picture as well. So it's the first of many to come over the next 6 weeks. Let's welcome our new community members in the best way we know how. Enjoy the ride. So there's crossover from communities. Obviously, every strategic partner we get's got their own community in the cryptocurrency world. So now there's this cross-pollination between the two. So very cool on that one as well. So here's a nice little write up there. I love this stuff, these little pictures. Fun airdrop and fundraiser, very nice indeed. It's been pretty well received, you can see there. Very nice indeed. Now, further earlier today, I just finished watching the 2-hour live stream of Punkynomics, and he went through talking about the marketing update for Axion. So obviously it's a big deal for a lot of people in the community, want to know what's happening in that space, and there's been a lot of adjustments. So we will talk about that after we've talked about this launch. The second thing is that he actually did the launch of DIREWOLF on there as well, and you can actually see that here. This is the beginning here, so it's at 43:59. I'm just going to post timestamp of this actually in the chat there. So let's have a quick look. I'm just going to go down here first of all. We'll just welcome Chris has got glad to be here, and then Alex K, our moderator's in the house. Hey all, would love to hear Superman's perspective on this new launch. I'm definitely going to give my opinion about the new launch after I've gone over the launch details. Just going to get through that exciting announcement first. FE Viking had KFC tonight, delicious. You're making me a bit jealous there, but I'm still not going to wave yet. And Chris McMillan, are you the developer and owner of Axion? So I am not Chris. I'm just a community promoter and investor just like you. So that's pretty much it. Obviously, I've been running this channel since pretty much probably what's about, I don't know now, what's about August to 2020, so it's quite a while, and so that's pretty much my involvement there. And so yeah, so that's where we're at, folks. Let's have a quick look at this is the video here. So I'm going to post this in the stream so you guys can actually check this out. So Punkynomics, I've got to get this correct so that I do it properly. DIREWOLF announcement. So we're not going to play that on live because there's actually some lag in the internet on there. So you're just going to be patient watching that at the time. But that's the DIREWOLF announcement on Punkonomics. So you can check that out as well. That's in there. So boom, you can check that one out. Very cool indeed. Hey, once again, welcome everybody watching this, both live and after the live stream. There's a pretty cool announcement, the third one that we've had on the Axion Launchpad, and there's more to come over the next 6 weeks. Pretty awesome stuff. These, like I said, the way you should picture this is that they're layering on top of each other, and the upward potential is pretty big. So very cool indeed, as well as the ecosystem, which is the big picture item. You just don't want just an airdrop as an investor. You do want the strategic synergies between the two communities to expand the Axion, and that adds a lot more value for you long term. And Axion is a long-term project with a certificate of deposit value. So very cool. All right, so I think I've gone through that pretty well. Let's go to the actual launch page. So Axion Portal is here, the Axion staking platform as it's previously known. So the portal now has a launch tab at the bottom there, and you can go to that. It will actually have the launch that's up, and this is really good. We actually saw this for the first time yesterday, so really cool to see that. And you can see it's got the current launch at the top there, very nice. With the fundraiser. Axion Launch, with Axion Launch, max stakers get to enjoy the exclusive benefit of curated launches perfect for our community. Each Axion launch is unique. Some may offer airdrops, some may grant unique bonuses, some may allow for significant discounts over purchase price. So there's a different range of benefits that will be different for every launch that's on there. Be sure to check back regularly to be the first to know about upcoming launches. For more information about Axion Launch, click here. So obviously Axion has max share stakers. That's an incredibly valuable investor class in crypto. And so a lot of projects are coming to Axion saying, hey, we want to get access to your investors. Your investors show some real long-term commitment because they get the long-term investment side. So they're coming in, and we're going to get one after another. And you can see by the launch announcement by Punky on Punkonomics that there's just more of them coming down the line, and that they're just going to add that value on over time. So you're just going to add up. So it's going to be a pretty exciting place to see that. And yeah, very nice. So already we've had the Sleepy Sloth ICO, and then we've had the SKRT IO there. So 14th and 15th of May, sorry, respectively. And now we've got the currently DIREWOLF one, and we've got more coming up in the next few weeks, as we saw in the announcement down here. So what do we got there? So we've got the first of many more to come in the next 6 weeks. So very cool on that one indeed. All right, so let's jump back to the launch. So we're going to click on this. It's going to bring us up a form, and it's going DIREWOLF airdrop and fundraiser. Your wallet is eligible for airdrops, so you can see that at the top. If you are eligible, you should get this here. Your wallet is eligible for the Axion launch. Be sure to check out each launch page for specific details or requirements. So that's what you get if you have got a max share stake that qualifies. So if you've got one of those, you'll be all good. Once again, the cutoff time for this particular airdrop is 1300 or 1 o'clock PST time on Saturday the 12th of June. So as long as you get a stake in there that's over 500,000, by that time you'll be able to qualify for this particular airdrop. So very cool. All right, so let's have a look here. We've gone on there. We're going to check on this, and basically DIREWOLF is a token looks to differentiate itself from the pack by committing 10% of their marketing fund to a charity each full moon cycle. So basically, what's that, once a month? DIREWOLF is partnering with Axion, and will be distributing 160,000 evenly among all wallets with a max stake higher than 500,000 Axion. So that's the main part there. They'll be distributing $160,000 evenly amongst wallets with a max share higher stake of 500,000. They'll also be counting on Axion Network to raise funds for the Southern Ohio Wolf Sanctuary by selling $50,000 worth of discounted DIREWOLF tokens vested for a 1-month moon cycle to max stakers and OG 555 token holders. So if you've got one of those NFTs, that's also an advantage, as we saw. So it says for more information, click here. So we're going to do that, and away we go. This is how we're doing it. We're rolling with the punches. Very nice indeed. So cool. All right, let's get on to that. So this is the actual formal announcement. This is on support.axion.network articles. So very cool. We've got the DIREWOLF there. DIREWOLF tokens look to differentiate itself from the pack by committing 10% of their marketing budget through community vote to a charity each full moon cycle. To start the partnership, DIREWOLF is distributing $160,000 evenly among all wallets with a max staker higher than 500,000. So basically, now they're getting stakers that are long-term investors from our max share investor class. So that's the benefit for DIREWOLF there. Very cool. They will also be counting on Axion Network to raise funds for the Southern Ohio Wolf Sanctuary. So they're going to issue some more tokens there in a sort of a mini fundraising or IEO event. And you'll be by selling $50,000 worth of discounted DIREWOLF tokens. So you're going to get a bit of upside there too. That money will be given basically to the DIREWOLF Sanctuary. And like as I said, looks like Punky, our strategy manager, and the DIREWOLF team will go and hand deliver that to the Wolf thing. You can actually see that on, if you want to see that, there's a video on Punky's live stream covering that. They actually show where the wolves are. So very cool. And a very niche sort of focus there, worth a discounted DIREWOLF invested for a month. So that's it there. So you can see the actual direwolftoken.com. That will click on that. This is the project that's being the launch partner, and you can see here it's got the features here, DIREWOLF, and obviously taken off a Game of Thrones, is in a Game of Thrones inspired decentralized cryptocurrency, fully owned and guided by the community. Join the wolf pack before winter. Let's create together the currency of the land. So kind of emerged as out of the meme coin community, but actually now really going into community fundraising as well as other stuff on there. So very nice stuff there. It's got different features. You can see there. Liquid locked, so that's really important, and audited by Solidity and verified contracts. So it's got all the security stuff there that you'd want to have. Very nice there. And it's got the tokenomics in here. The symbol's DIREWOLF ERC20 token, that's what it is. And it's got 1 quintillion supply, so real meme coin type of supplies there. Burned 75% plus, so that's really important if you want a deflationary token. And liquidity locked 1 year and locked forever, circa 20%. Circulating 4%, less than 4%. So that's not much circulating supply. Rewards 2% and hodlers 6,500. So I'm not sure what that particular point means there, but that's pretty cool. That's the number of people who own DIREWOLF today. Okay, so there we are. So there's 6,500 people in their community. So that's really cool to know on top of that. So I think Axion, we have something like 19,000. So that's really cool to see that a number of holders there. You can check the updated number on Etherscan, of course. Very cool. All right, so it's got some nice stuff there. They've got a white paper as well. And what else it's got there? So you can read that. We're not going to go through that on this live stream. They got the roadmap. So it looks like they've done quite a lot pre-sale launch, Dex Tools listing, Uniswap 1-inch CM, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko application submitted. They are on CoinGecko. Star building the Wolfpack, Solidity finance audit, additional burn, 3,000 hodlers, which they've already up to 6,500, 1,500 Telegram members, 1,000 Twitter followers, so they'll probably increase those too. So very cool in there. They've got the North remembers, so that's part out of Game of Thrones. Redesign the website, CoinGecko listed, first exchange, white paper, additional burn, and it looks like this is where they're up to at the moment. Valor Hodlers, Valor Doharis, I think it's out of the Game of Thrones, all the Game of Thrones references. So they got 50 million market, so this influencing marketing partners, Valor Moguls, social media campaign. So they've got a lot of stuff going up as well. So that crossover with Axion is going to be quite good from that point of view. And then they've got Two Swords, all that stuff coming up. Wolf Swap, Established Exchange, Reach Out, Game of Thrones stuff, the Horn of Winter, NFT Marketplace, partnership with non-profits. So they've got more coming out, wars to come, and they've got different stuff here on social media. So really expanding their reach, as it were. Really is a marketing token, but seems to have some major, they want to do some major giving out, sort of community work as well. Launch the metaverse platform, sanctuaries for exclusives, and launch wolf colonies and wolf museums. So don't fight in the tournament, because when I fight a man for real, I don't want to know what I can do. Ned Stark. So there we are. Ned Stark, I think he died in the first season, but never mind. So they've got team there, and they've got this, the team people's contacts. What else they got there? Jamie Annister there. How to buy. So they got that. So pretty neat little website there, actually. What is DIREWOLF? The Game of Thrones inspired decentralized cryptocurrency, fully owned and guided by the community. We are, like millions of people, Game of Thrones fans, and we wanted to create cryptocurrency that would carry the values of House Stark. So there we are. That's a bit of fun there. And actually probably got a wide audience, right? Because obviously Game of Thrones, probably the biggest TV series possibly in history, actually. So pretty neat there. And what else they got there? So very cool. Support, that's all the social media there. So a nice little partnership there emerging. And I think we're probably going to have quite a bit of influence on their vision as well, based on what I see and see there. So there we are, folks. That's what it is. And let's jump back here. Summary: the airdrop, known as a DIREWOLF in the DIREWOLF world. DIREWOLF will be airdropping $100,000 worth of total token equally amongst qualifying max share stakers. Roughly $35 per wallet at current numbers. To qualify, you need 5,555 days stake, over 500,000, and need to share social posts on both Axion and DIREWOLF about the event, then fill in a Google form. So click here to participate. So that's what you have to get involved in, and yeah, not too bad. And then the fundraiser, there will be a fundraiser to raise $50,000 for Southern Higher Wolf Sanctuary. This will be in the form of selling discounted DIREWOLF tokens max share stakers, as we said, 10% discount to max stakers, 20% discount for OG 555 NFT holders. So that's where there's Punky's commitment to the NFT holders, not just max share stakers. So every time he's trying to find that extra benefit for NFT holders. So that's really nice to see that consistently played out. This is limited $250 per wallet on a first come first serve basis. Tokens purchased in the fundraiser are vested until the full moon on July the 24th. So it's not too far. It's not a bad little binding curve there. It's a pretty short one. Fundraising instructions will follow shortly, and then it's got the details about Axion and DIREWOLF are partnering for real change in the world. And this is probably the bigger picture now. So we've looked at the individual investor type thing. Now we're looking at the big picture of the strategic partnership. So Axion and DIREWOLF are partnering for real change in the world. To this partnership, Axion brings our community, builds around the concept of ethical finance and long-term growth with an integrated DAO system and a track record of giving from the community, already totaling over 600,000 trees through the Eden project. Our community is always working towards investing our nearly $5 million worth of BTC over the last 10 weeks into projects that affect the change. So very nice there. This launch agreement will begin on June the 9th, and which is obviously today, and will extend for 3 months with an option to extend another 3 months increments. The goal is to help pull the vibrant DIREWOLF community away from the pack of dog meme tokens and into a leadership position in charitable investments. So that's what I mean. They're really having a leadership there, moving them out of the meme coin with their big potential community, with obviously Game of Thrones is huge, and expanding that into really community orientated stuff. So very cool. And that fits into our ethical finance kind of play, as well as bringing a new community into touch with Axion. And if they want good long-term investments, then Axion's a great place to be. DIREWOLF token at the core believes in rising by lifting others around us, one DIREWOLF at a time. And about DIREWOLF is a new token born to break through the meme token explosion this year into crypto with unique tokenomics, massive token burn, as we saw it was 75%, and a community that voted to give half of the marketing budget back to the community to reward long-term community growth and position DIREWOLF as the leader of charitable donations throughout the noisy world of cryptocurrencies, encouraging others to initiate community building initiatives, fostering robust growth for all. DIREWOLF is looking to pull further from the pack with legendary charitable giving. For this event, Axion max stakers can purchase up to $250 per wallet for DIREWOLF at a 10% discount, 20% for OG 5555 NFT holders. Axion currently has over 4,500 wallets holding max stakes, 15.22 years, and an engaged active community that has received over 5 million liquid dividends in 10 weeks. So that's pretty nice there. So remember, if to qualify for airdrop, you need to click this form here, and basically comply with that to get into that. So I encourage you to do that, to follow the link there. So I'll put that in there. Let's have a look here, and let's post this. Was it airdrop form? Boom. All right, so that's there. Let's. We've got a question here from. We've got a question here from Steve Ford SF Motivation. Hey, is your name got longer? I know I keep changing my name on social media. Do miners get the airdrop? I'm not sure what miners do you mean. There's no miners in Axion proof of stake, remember? So not sure what that means. Yeah, let me know what you mean by that, Steve. That'd be helpful. All right, cool. So there we are, folks. That's that. There is the actual launch, and let's actually go into some of my opinions. I think that obviously DIREWOLF is trying to, from the big picture, I think it's great. It's layering another partnership, and we've got, as the announcement says, we've got more coming in the next 6 weeks. So it's pretty cool. So those benefits are really cool. Now, and from an investor point of view, I think there's potential upside of all these airdrops that we're getting, right, over time. Obviously, the crypto market goes through cycles. At the moment, we're sitting right in a major pullback. We're sort of in that indecision point. It seems bearish. But is it really the beginning of a bear market? Obviously, if Bitcoin goes below 30,000, I haven't checked it today, but if it goes below that and all that sort of stuff, then we're definitely moving into a bearish slant. I think we're already in a bearish, sort of a pre-bearish situation at the moment, but we'll just wait and see. We're in that awkward phase at the moment, so we'll watch that. And obviously, if Ethereum goes back under 2,000, I think that's pretty bearish as well. So we'll see what happens there. But as I think long term, it's all these airdrops just sitting in your wallet, just sitting there and adding more value over time. And some of them will be bigger than others. Some projects will be bigger than others. I do think that that it's going to help with the community. If we're going to be focusing on community, then we're probably going to have a number of strategic partners that will be community orientated. And so if DIREWOLF is heading towards that direction, that's pretty big. In other words, also they've got a big community, and that there's a strategic advantage to Axion as well. So I call this maybe a soft partnership as opposed to a hard partnership. And so we're probably going to need a number of soft partnerships, a number of hard partnerships. Hard partnerships would be like full-on commercial arrangements, probably even more developed communities and stuff like that. So stuff that's what I'm talking about. So I think that's pretty cool. We're going to have a mixed bag of those, and I think Securitas is what I would call a hard partnership at the moment. So that Securitas would be a hard partnership. I think the Sleepy Sloth and the DIREWOLF is more like a soft partnerships, but I think that's pretty cool. Certainly introducing big communities into Axion, that's probably the main benefit. And then the second benefit would be the airdrops and the potential would upscale from there. Plus the IEO value is a little bit of IEO value there, or at least additional capital value. But yes, SKRT is probably the biggest one so far. They're already helping us with doing KYC and other stuff for the Axion launch. So the Axion launch is just getting started, right? We've already got 3 already. We've got more coming in the next 6 weeks. So you can see what I mean? In 6 months' time, this thing could be full of partnerships. I mean, you're talking about a lot of upside. So I hope that's the picture you've got to see. So I actually think overall it's pretty good. But like I put it into, if I had a soft category and a hard category, I'd put DIREWOLF in the soft category, Sleepy Sloth in the soft category. But with big wallet numbers, we just need to get more synergies across that, of course, make that effective crossover. But obviously getting the cross communication in there is pretty cool as well. And then obviously SKRT is probably the first hard partnership, and we want to get more of those. And you probably want at least 2/3 or at least half, 50-50, to get hard partnerships, soft partnerships in there, mixture. I think obviously these ones here are community orientated as well. So you like to get that as part of our ethical finance. Every sort of good brand has some good community related stuff there. So I think overall pretty good. And another one's just another layering. I think with the Sleepy Sloth, we got about like $8, $10 airdrop. This one here is going to be about probably $33, $35. And then the SKRT was I can't even remember what that was now. I was at about $35 or $50, something like that. But the upside's huge. I think the price actually went up. It's actually coming up on the 14th of June, so we're about to get that airdrop. We already had a Sleepy Sloth one, so it's just slowly getting more airdrops. But once again, if any of these take off, if any of them go 10x, 100x, then that all turns into pretty big money pretty quickly. So from an investor point of view, those are the sort of upsides there that I see. But from the strategic partnerships, I think this is another good soft partnership, and obviously with the new community introducing. I think also if Game of Thrones, if they actually do get to reach out further and further into the Game of Thrones community, then they could really do well. If they go from 6,500 wallets up to 100,000, then that really, and we still get that cross attention. That's pretty cool. But as we saw, there's a 3-month contract renewal there, so I feel that Punky's probably going to keep evolving the synergies between the projects. So that's where I think it is. But another good one in the market. So very nice, and we've got more to come. So if we go back to the markets here, we've got Where we got here? I've got this is the first of many, more to come in the next 6 weeks. Let's welcome our new community members in the best way we know. So that's the other side, right? That new community stuff there. So I think I've probably outlined the synergies that I can think of that are obvious. Let's have a look at Luke's got a question here. What's it? Hi, if we are heading into a bear market, is now a good time to crank up the marketing to encourage investors to lock up their money in stakes to wait out the bear market? 100%, Luke, 100%. So that's very true. Andreas also says Axion launches version 3 incoming. Axion is ready to rumble. Yeah, absolutely. So Andreas is onto it too. He's out of the moderator. So we've got Axion version 3 is a major impact on our platform, and it's going to be pretty much Axion's going to pretty much stand alone with cheap fees on Ethereum. That's pretty much going to be it, and I think Axion will get well known for that as well if the word gets out about how Axion's dealt with the fees. So that's really cool. We're going to have very cheap, next to nothing fees, while everybody else has to keep paying S-load fees, has to keep, and as time goes on, especially staking tokens, those get extremely expensive. And the other side of it is that just normal transactions. At the moment, we've got withdrawing Bitcoin. That's the cheapest thing to do on the Axion platform. Actually, withdrawing your Bitcoin does really neat now. I mean, it's only a couple dollars now. So at the moment, and you can imagine that once we get the Axion version 3, that's going to be, I don't know, is it going to be 20 cents? I don't know. It's going to be super cheap, whatever it's going to be. Yeah, and then we've got staking is going to be 1/8 of whatever the Gwei price is now. And so obviously, if the Gwei is around 10, 12, then 1/8 of that's going to be super cheap for staking. Very nice. And that's going to include layer 1 apparently, because they're going to roll them into NFTs. New product options there. I think there's a lot of stuff. So at the moment, I think there's some hard commercial products. I think that's the next holy grail, as well as getting hard commercial products. I'm certainly going to be proposing some to the team that the team should be looking at. So that's some of the things they should be doing. Also around liquidity, they need to do something around liquidity. So there are some of these major commercial things as well. But I thought the announcements today from Punky was pretty good. So let's go through some of that. I watched a 2-hour live stream of Punkynomics. That did have a lot of internet issues during the live stream for some reason. I don't know if it was just me, but I'm pretty sure it's just part of what happened when it live, because I saw it a couple of hours after the live stream. And probably about 5 hours after. So anyway, so some of the key stuff is obviously Joel is creative director. You've got Pullen coming out from the social service, doing social platforms into becoming the marketing director. So that's huge news for Pullen. So congratulations, Pullen, on that one. Looking very excited. Pullen's got like 12 to 14 years of experience in marketing, so it's really cool. Has already played a pivotal role behind the scenes as the jack of all trades, as well as helping with setting up the marketing in a professional manner. So very cool on that. The Punky's going into the strategy and the IEO partnership, so we're going to see more folks. He's going to specialize in this, in the tokenomics and what we call punkonomics. He's going to specialize in partnerships and a strategic, a big view, deflation, inflation, that sort of stuff. So very nice there, and I think so that's a restructure of the team. Very nice. Also, there's LB, I think, coming into the mix. Now she was awesome on the live stream, and she's going to be doing a lot of the ads and things like that. She was incredibly articulate on the live stream. So great to have another very talented person in the team. It was really cool. And yeah, so that's looking really bright. They're already doing a lot. Joel said they're already doing a lot of marketing differently. So they're differently marketing now. They're moving into. They're already on Brave browser. They've already got a really strong partnership. It's actually hard to get on Brave browser. It's got a dedicated, huge crypto community around the world. I mean, it's massive. So these guys are already redirecting into the maximum impact. And that's already having great stuff, and they're going to be able to get access to that and promote that. Those ads are already on there now, and they're actually getting really great results. So we're going to get more around reporting on marketing, they said. They're going to get more reporting, transparency, which is cool, because I talked about that yesterday, that I want more reporting and transparency, and that it's where the team's heading. So that's really nice to see that. And obviously get going with a certain marketing budget. The marketing budget for Q2 is $200,000 US. Apparently they've still got about 126,000 of that. So there's a lot of marketing going to roll out over the next couple of weeks and ahead. So very cool. And also they had 50,000 in the monthly budget or something. So that's up to $176,000 in marketing. So it's really cool. That said, I think Joel pointed out quite rightly that it's not a huge, like $50,000 a month is not a huge budget, but they are making the most of it, and they're actually getting, making that sort of that 50,000 be 2.5 times more effective than say the average marketer would spend. So they've really spent the last previous couple of months, they said, doing all the data stuff, getting the right phrases, getting the right target markets, working out what's not working, what works, and so that's where they've started to head into the Brave browser networks, with you've got millions of crypto users using that, and so really cool. And they're getting a high click-through rate because they're going to the most effective places. So I think they've learned a lot of lessons and got a lot of data, and now they're into the hardcore rolling the stuff out. So it was really good to see that. I actually saw someone on Discord say to me, say not to me, but say on Discord that, oh man, I sort of saw this ad on Brave browser because I wasn't aware of it. And they go, oh, we'll post that picture of whatever you saw on Brave browser. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I do think that one thing I want the team to do is to contract to get more commercial products involved, and that be and the risk reward will be different from certificate deposit and auctions. So I think that's a very important. I think that's a good way of dealing with liquidity squeeze. I think that's the number one way. I think that way is way better than just doing something like a lotto for buying on Uniswap liquid. So I do think that they should be looking at yield farm returns, and different to what they've got at the moment in liquidity mining. So that's just for the standard ETH pair, but I think that they need to be looking at a USDC pair, and I think that they need to be looking at doing those pairs on high yield farming sites, and that will get people buying Axion to go into those pairs. And it happens very fast, folks. It happens very fast, and it fits it's a much higher APY, but of course you face permanent loss potential, but there's a lot of people going into that, and I think that's a great way of dealing with the liquidity squeeze issue in a fast direction. So I'm going to propose that to the team and give them the backstrump. There's also another one, folks. There's also a big one that I think that they can deal with, and that is liquidity pools. If they make a new one, that they can leverage the liquidity pool, especially if it's locked liquidity, and leverage that for airdrops. So that's where I think they should head with the commercial products. I think that's a huge big bucks in that, and I think that actually builds out the ecosystem quite nicely. After they have those, I think the ecosystems are going to look really strong commercially, and that's where I think the Axion team should go. So there, you just heard it from me, folks. Some big stuff there, and I think that's really important in the market. And a bear market or not, I think that people in bear markets, they want to get rid of 98% of the cryptos, and they want to get into the value tokens. And I've always said that right from the beginning when I did this channel. Value tokens are the number one, because you've got Hex, you've got Wise, you've got Axion, stuff like that. Those are value tokens, certificate deposits that are supercharged with dividends and different other features. They're all different from each other, but they've all got that baseline certificate deposit minimum return. So if you've got a share rate and you've got if you're earning volume, you can always offset the price fall to some degree. So if the bear market's coming in, you've got that volume to offset to some degree that price thing. But if you've got in a project that's got no volume effect, no certificate deposit effect, then you're going to go, your whole asset portfolio is just going to go beep, 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 down to the bottom. And some of those, in fact, a lot of them won't recover, because a lot of people will just go, oh, that's nothing interesting about that. I'm not putting my money back into that. I'm going to go into, you guessed it, I'm going to go into Axion, or I'm going to go into Hex, or I'm going to go into something else, right? And they're all different. They all offer something different. So they're all different from each other, but they're all long-term projects. So very cool. So if you're Axion, if you're staked in Axion, and you've been staked long, you've been earning wrapped Bitcoin dividends pretty much every day for what we're on auction day 206. So 206 days you've been earning some kind of dividends on top of your 8% returns. Now in the bank at the moment, you'll be getting, what was it, 0.5% return, and you're not only that, but you're facing a high inflationary period that's coming up. So that's in real terms, that's even lower. You're actually probably negative. You're just negative. You're just paying out costs. Whereas when you've got these high returns that are enabled. So I think there's some pretty interesting stuff there. Hopefully that's been of some value to you. Yeah, hopefully that's been pretty cool. And I think Andre's got something that I think is really cool. Yeah, we've got all these things coming up. And they're going to layer on top of each other. So very exciting stuff to see there. Ready to rumble is a great way to see it too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Let me know in the chat if that was all helpful. Maybe a few smiley faces or some thumbs up, and really great. If you haven't joined Axion, of course, subscribe to this channel like and share, hit the bell for notifications, and hopefully that's been really cool. And I hope you enjoyed this one. This is 40 minutes. I'm going to see you at the auction close at the end of today, and you can watch out, see what's happened. We've already sold out the regular auction, sold per good today, but we've got a VCA coming up, a VCA 39. I think it's VCA 39 coming up. Pretty amazing, and it's going to be another opportunity for you to get in. The regular auction sold out, so no one can get in there at the moment, but that's pretty cool. Hey, thanks Andreas and Alex for being moderators as usual, and thanks for everybody for watching. Hope you really enjoyed this launch. Another great one from the team, and many more to come. Many more to come. So very cool changes there. Onwards and upwards, so we say. Onwards and upwards. Let me just finish this here. Boom. Got to be in it to win it. All right. Ciao for now.